So I feared that I had missed out on the International Women's Day, and it turns out that apparently we have the whole month. So happy International Women's Month. So we have the day, now we have the month, we have more than one Mothering Sunday. We even have a wrapper for us, all women, all united. We now here have, a ministry. So there are a lot of things going on for women. And I dare say this is a fantastic time for women. A lot of front burner issues are being brought to the fore. Organizations are rallying, to help the voice of the women be heard around the world. We have gender mainstreaming, going on. We have just deliberate actions here and there going on. This year's theme is choose to challenge, and in spite of the amount of work that has gone into, trying to break the stereotypes and just bring out women, allow women to actualize themselves. As with anything, there's still a lot of work to be done, but the work here, I think, mainly needs to be done by we women, and that is the choose to challenge for me here. What exactly, am I as a woman doing in my own small corner to ensure that we become all women, all united? Um, I dare say that, for quite a long time, this is our number one complaint about us women, that we are not united. We are our own worst enemies. We are the ones who, backbite, stab, bring down your fellow woman, and even reinforce the stereotypes, reinforce the bad practices against women. And so, when are we going to move away, from the high speeches, there should be, the what we can see on the surface, and actually go down to the problems? There are still a lot of women whose voices are not heard because we're suppressing them. So conspiracy of silence, especially when it comes to not just gender-based violence, but even the sexual crimes against women. The woman, there's still a huge hold on that, and unless we women participate in trying to break this silence, no matter what it is, not that your husband, your uncle, your son, raped a ward in your ward, a ward with you, or the house girl, and because you don't want your marriage to break up, or you don't want the society to look at you in a certain way, you keep quiet. That's what is going to keep on, feeding, just going to keep on festering. Or something and you keep quiet. When are we going to step out of that? When are we going to educate our girls on what really is the important thing? We have our priorities wrong as females. I'm not afraid to say it. We have our priorities wrong as females. And I will keep on talking about that silhouette challenge as just one of the many things in recent times that we women, with all the problems we have, should not have been seen participating in it. And even if we were going to participate in it, we should have turned it on its head. It's very hard to be taken serious if you are still participating in things that could make you look unserious. And so this is where our responsibility comes in as women. And that should be our choose to challenge, not looking at the external things that are causing our problem. They'll be there. Well, I mean, that is working. But what are we doing internally to help ourselves? Women in politics, are we supporting? How do we support? I think it's not are we now. The question is not are we, because we're not. If we were, we would have seen quite an amount of change. So we're not. And so the choose to challenge is how do I? So move from are we to how do I? And so I hope that as we continue now that we have quite a number of things playing out in our favor, that somehow this lofty dream of all united will happen. The only way it can happen is if you and I intentionally say, this is my sister and I want to help her. How many people have you mentored in around you, your family, your community? How many women have you stood up for? How many women have you, when you hear a story about them, you decide, I'm not going to talk, continue the story, but I'm going to give her an allowance. I'm not going to judge. How many? How many? Even for you, have you sat down to do what are your priorities? We need to get them straight. And so as we continue in the month of March, I hope you'll be able to sit down and think, okay, you know what? I still have about 2 weeks to go in this month of women. So what will I do differently this year that I didn't do last year and that I can build on? And so good luck. It's fantastic being a woman. It's a fantastic time to be a woman, but there is still a lot of work to be done out there. And that work is for me and you. So follow us on Diary of a Stupid Woman on our YouTube and our IG page. And happy International Women's Day once month once more.